Hello there, and welcome back to another video. In case you're a returning user, welcome back. And in case you are new, my name is Lanjigura, and I am the Customer Relationship Manager at CyberAngels. In today's video, I'm going to show you a very cool feature that we have developed in CyberAngels, which is known as the Client Workspace. Now, what exactly is Client Workspace, right? So, Client Workspace is a feature that allows you to uh, create a dedicated workspace for managing your clients' security scans, remediations, and frameworks. This ensures that if you have sold certain services to that client, you need to you are able to fulfill or provide those services in a more efficient manner, and that's where the client workspace come into the picture. Now, how to set up your first client workspace in CyberAngels? So before you do that, we need to first understand something known as subscriptions, right? So if you go to configurations on your CyberAngels dashboard, you will see on the top something known as subscriptions. Now, what exactly is subscriptions? Subscriptions is nothing but a way to enable or decide what type of services you want to give to a particular client, right? Now, if you remember, uh, that CyberAngels is a white label platform which has been designed or is being developed in such a way that allows you to resell services to your own customer, right? So we basically want you to make more money using CyberAngels and not just, paying our subscription licenses fees and managing your clients, let's say cybersecurity stuff and online security, right? We don't just want to be limited to that. We want you to make more money by selling uh, features of CyberAngels to your customers, and one of the ways to do that is by building custom subscriptions. Now, basically, you can build subscription which can define what exactly you want to offer in that. So, for example, you can add it as a basic subscription or a framework subscription. You can choose color. You can define how many max email assets this subscription will have. So, let's say if you have sold a client uh, minimum service plan. You say, okay, in this minimum plan, I just want to have 10 emails. I will be scanning only your 10 emails. I will be scanning only your two emails, and that will be limitation dedicated across the entire client workspaces to which the subscription will be enabled, right? And then you can also define the scan frequency. So instead of you going a manual scanning after every 30 days or 20 days, you can define that, okay, I want CyberAngels to perform scan frequency after every 20 or 30 days, and it will do that, right? And let's say if you want to sell some sort of frameworks as part of the subscription, you can also choose that. So you can select the ones that we already have in our tool, or you can create your own custom frameworks depending upon what type of framework you want to offer. And then if you click on allow remediations, this will basically enable remediations in your client's workspace, which basically means that if you have enabled any framework, the remediations for the same will be shown in the client workspace. Or if you have completed any scans, so domain scan or email scans, and any problems that has been detected, that will be available in the client's remediation workspace. That means that you don't have to keep on jumping between your master account and client workspace account to see how things are working. You can pretty much manage a client's entire security posture or security, let's say, identity and stuff like that from one single workspace. Now, let me show you the subscription plan that I've built, right? So I've built this CyberAngels testing subscription plan. And if I click on edit, you can see that this is basically to manage their security scans and ISO framework. And I have defined the email assets to be 15, max domain assets to be 5, and frequency to be default 30. And I have linked ISO framework and allow remediations as well, right? Now let's build your first, let's say, client workspace. Now there are two ways to do that. For example, if you go to Prospecting Hub, if you have already scanned a domain and now you have actually sold this particular customer that, hey, I will take care of your security scan, I will, try to ensure that you comply with ISO or NIS2 framework, then you can simply do click on this green button, says promote to customer. Now you have to select whether it is going to be a customer with workspace or a managed customer. There's a difference between the two, but for this particular video, we're going to focus on customer with workspace, where basically we want a dedicated workspace to be created for that particular customer. Then you have to put the first name, last name of your point of contact at the customers, and then of course their email ID. This is needed only for uh, let's say admin purposes, so that you are able to recall or manage that who exactly is the point of contact of this particular client, right? Then the rest is optional, but I always suggest that you do that. Put the company name, select the industry, revenue, company size, address you can avoid if you want to, but city and state would be really great. And then this is super important. What type of subscription that you want to assign to this particular client workspace, right? I only have one subscription for now, which is CyberAngel, so I can select that. And then you have two options. One, if you want to send an activation email to this client so that he can also access the workspace, you can do that. We have an option to delay the activation in case you want to do that, or else if you don't want the client to have access to this workspace, then that is also fine. All you have to do is that do not send activation email, and you just have to put your own email address, and you will receive the activation email in your account, right? So that's one way to create your customer account. The other way is manually. So if you go to left side, you will see clients. And here you will see an option called create, right? Now, before I click on create, let's say I'm going to follow the same concept. If you don't want the customer to receive activation email, or you don't want to share the workspace with them for any of your clients, by default, you can just select this option. You can select this and say that, hey, I want all the activation emails to be sent to my personal email or my work email and not to the clients, right? And then if you click on Save Settings, then what it's going to do is that whatever client workspaces that you're going to create, the activation email will only be sent to you. And then if you want to manually create the client workspace, it's once again simple. You just have to click Create, follow the same pattern, customer with workspace, first name, last name, email, select subscription, select the company name, industry, revenue, address if you want to put, and then you do the same thing. Do not send activation email to the user. Make sure that you select this thing and then click on Save Changes. And once you do that, you will actually start seeing your customer client workspace. So as you can see, I have created two workspaces, first name, last name, what subscription they are on, and then what's their status, company name, and stuff like that. Here in this case, I have not really activated the accounts yet, but once you create the account, all you have to do is go inside your email where you receive the activation, click on that email, and then your account will be activated. That will allow you to, create passwords or, change passwords and share it with the client later on if you want to do that, right? So that's there. Now let me show you how exactly a client workspace looks like, right? So let's say if you would like to enter the client workspace from your own admin account, all you have to do is you have to click on this keychain called impersonate, and then you will see the magic, right? Here. Now you can see that you're actually inside. If I go to the account settings, I'm actually inside my client's account. The Gap Entry is the name of the company. And basically, here I can just see if the company information is correct, if I want to make any changes, and if I want to set a new password, I can also do that. But remember, this feature is only available once you actually activate the account by going through the email that you received, right? By clicking on the link that you received in the email to activate that account, right? And then let's go back to the main account, right? So dashboard. In this dashboard, pretty much you're going to see everything related to this client workspace with their progress and compliance, their assessments, what they have done, what they have not done yet, the remediation status, how many remediations are pending, how many has been done, compliance data pending if there is any, for example, if they haven't completed any assessments, then that is also there. And then an industry benchmark, that how is this client doing versus their industry, giving you a benchmark to understand that how your services are creating a value to this particular customer, right? So this is a customer focused dashboard which is dedicated to this customer, and the idea is simple, that whenever you come to this workspace you are able to understand that what all things are pending in this particular workspace and what all have been completed. This is what the purpose of the dashboard is. Then we have the most used features of CyberAngels, which is monitoring. This is basically domain monitoring, where you can add all the domains related to this client, whether it is a subdomain or a main domain. You can manually create add domains by putting their targets, select the industry once again. And let's say if it's a third party domain, but for some reason it's a third party domain which the client is using for a different business as well, you can also add that, right? And then it will generate the same type of report that it was generating in Prospecting Hub, but a little bit more comprehensive. So let's say if you want to see the report, for example, of this domain, elanjegora.com, you can see that the cyber risk index is 43. This is the dashboard. You get a more, let's say, cleaner view of how what's the security posture of this domain is, what are the, let's say, domains with highest risk, the CVs and stuff. And then, of course, we have the old report functionality of the prospecting hub as well, where you can see the same format and you can download the PDF in different languages. Another cool feature is that you can actually see the different histories of the scans. So, for example, in this domain, I only had the scan made on 5th January, right? Now, if I go to another, let's say, domain, for example, this one, let me see if I have a history. Yeah, here also I only have one history, so I can just click. But then I can also use the force scan feature, right? So I can always go and click on force scan. And as you can see, the scan for Nalanjikura will start in a few minutes. And whenever the scan is completed, you will actually see the new scan in this list. And you can actually see all the previous scan as well by clicking on this, and you will see the previous date scan as well, which will help you to understand that how you are also improving from month on month or from one scan to another scan. And then at the same time, let's say if your client asks that, hey, what's the difference between the reports in, let's say, December versus January, you can simply reshare the reports or recreate the reports for them using this feature, right? So that's monitoring. And then, of course, you get an overall view that how the each domain of this client is performing and what are the breaches that are detected. Then in database monitoring, it's basically a concept of email monitoring where you can add all the emails that you want to track for this particular client. You can simply click on add email target, put the target, and it will be sent to for scanning purposes. And when the scan is completed, you will see the list here, and you can understand that which particular emails have actually been breached or not. As you can see, yes, yes, yes. For example, this email, nilanjay.guru@outlook.com has been breached some down in the history, right? So if you click on details, we'll actually see the breach is detected, when was the last scan done, what was the target, and then you will actually see that at which domain this particular email was compromised, right? For some reason we can't exactly tell that what exact information might have been leaked, but we give a general idea that okay, it might be email addresses, names, passwords, or phone numbers that might have been leaked at this particular website, right? Now, some super cool part, right? So you can see that we had a breach detected here, we had certain breaches detected here, and because in this subscription we enabled remediations, now if we go to the remediations tab, we can actually see all the remediations that the platform suggests in order to solve the issues detected, right? And you can simply filter this with the target. So if you click on target, as you can see, I have all these domains and emails added where the breach was detected, right? So if I change it to, let's say, just to the email that was attacked, as you can see in alanjagura.com, fix the reported breach, that's remediations. And if I click on this, whoops, not the name. Yeah, sorry. If I click on this, edit, you can actually see the resolution, right? So you can actually track that, okay, I have to fix a breach detected in this particular, let's say, uh, detected in this particular, email. I need to go or either update my password or I should update or delete my account from check.com. I can do that. And once everything is completed, I can actually mark this as done, right? Uh, then upload the file as an evidence to ensure that I have completed this file so that the client can see, and then save the changes, right? And then you can see here that once that is completed, you can see that task has been completed, done too, right? Same goes with other assets. So I can filter, let's say, by Nilanjay Ghura, right? And you can see I have so many vulnerabilities reported in case of CVE. So if I click on the edit part, uh, so right now, for some reason, it's not showing the description of the problem, but let me see if I can find another one. So, for example, I have the implement DMARC one, right? So here you can see that there's a very, let's say, description-based very detailed description about how to fix this issue. And then you can look at the description. You can say that, okay, I have already completed this or I'm in the progress. You can mark it accordingly. Once it is completed, you can, upload the file and it will be marked as done, right? So this way, whenever the scans are completed and the new scan has been done and new problems has been detected, it will start showing up in your report and you can try working on closing them one by one. And you can show to the client that, hey, I have done so much work since we have initially started, or in the last 3 months, I have completed this much work. And you actually have proof to show them Not by just saying that, hey, I have completed this task, but I've also actually, uploaded evidence to the same so that you can compare and check that what I am presenting is not fake, everything is real, right? So that's the remediations part. And then we have compliances. So as I said, in this subscription, sorry, in this subscription, I also request to have ISO framework added. So that's why you can see that the ISO compliance has been added here. And if I click on view details, it will actually show me that where exactly I need to comply stuff, how much I have not complied, and I will be able to track my progress, right? So for example, everything is at 0, and the progress scale will change based on the percentages detected. And all the remediations for the ISO you will also find here as well. So if I click on uh, select all, you can see that the frameworks are here, and I can select by framework, right? So I only want ISO 27001 frameworks, and that you can see those frameworks are appearing, and I can actually click on it, click on edit. I will receive the description what exactly this remediation is about, and if the company is actually or the client is actually already implemented it or not. If not, then I can implement for them. If they have already, I can simply mark it as done and then move on. So this is the cool, let's say, client workspace features, compliance feature, and then of course we have assessments. So of course we need to keep on sending assessments to the clients, and sometimes it becomes hard to track that which assessments the client has done. So let's say if you have built an assessment using the campaign manager and you have assigned to a particular client, then those assessments will appear in the client's workspace as well. And if the client has completed it, you will see it as completed, and you can actually see the answers as well. Or else, if the client has not completed it, then you will see, start, stuff like that. And then you can remind them that, hey, please complete this questionnaire, or let's work together and complete this assessment questionnaire for us, right? So this is in general how the client workspace work. It's a pretty cool feature to help you, let's say, leverage or become more efficient in terms of managing a client's security postures and identity operations and stuff, or framework management. And at the same time, you can actually resell this entire dashboard to the client, right? So you can say, hey, I can give you a dashboard where you can always check out your, let's say, progress and stuff, and what are the remediations that I need to do, what are the different security scans report detecting and stuff like that, and you can make money out of that as well, right? So that's how you build your client workspace in a nutshell. See you in the next one.